Hi everyone, hope you're doing well out there. This is Ben from Jackfruit Audio. So today we're going to talk about MIXvs. MIXvs essentially allows music producers, mixing engineers, mastering engineers to check their mix on mobile, anything the mobile is connected to, Bluetooth devices, Apple CarPlay for instance, and basically A/B test the mix you're working on versus a reference. And the reference could be an existing piece of music, it could be an older version of your mix, and you can seamlessly switch between the two. And then also there's some effects like filtering and stereo imaging that are really useful to seeing how mixes translate and compare to each other. So the first step is going to be to load a mix. So you can just tap load mix, choose a file, and you can also, another way to load a file in, if it's anywhere on your phone, you can just tap the three dots and share it to MIXvs, and it will load in that way as well. So we've loaded our mix, now let's load a reference. Both of these are songs I've worked on to avoid copyright issues with this video. And so I'm going to hit play and switch between them. But before I switch between them, I'm going to scrub basically to the chorus of each song, because that's what I want to compare. Great. So you're able to scrub to whatever section you want, A/B test between the two songs. Another really useful thing you can do with MIXvs is do some filtering. So let's say you want to listen to the low end, see how the kick and the bass compare between your mix and the reference. So I'm going to throw on the low pass and hit play. And you can, of course, change the cutoff frequency for the filter and do the same thing as with the high pass frequency if you want to listen to the upper register. Another feature is stereo imaging. So oftentimes it's useful to check a mix in mono. So there's a mono button to see if anything dramatic changes with your master. And then of course there's a mid and a side if you want to check that. That gets more technical for people who are really interested in comparing their mids versus their reference and their sides versus the reference. For example, if you check and you notice that your reference track has more things that are on the side, maybe to help widen the sound, you might want to test that on your mix, for instance. So it can be really useful. I'll go between them. You won't really, if you're listening on mobile, you may not actually hear much of a difference, but if you have headphones, I would suggest throwing those on. Let it go, light shines down and the garden grows, wander deep in the green, green grove, close your eyes and release control. Okay, and the final feature I want to talk about is just the share or the playback button. So right now I'm making this video on my MacBook, so that's what's available. But if you had Bluetooth headphones, they would show up there. If you were in your car, Apple CarPlay would show up, and you can select between them. And of course, in your phone's Bluetooth setting, if you have multiple Bluetooth devices, you can switch between those as well. So those are all the features of MIXvs. I think it could be really useful for people that want to test their mix against, like I said, older versions of your mix, or maybe with a reference that you're trying to sound like that's in your genre. And yeah, go try it out. It's free, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.